Hello, Namaste, Salam, and Sat Sri Akal. Welcome to the RFM CLV app navigation video. Let's get started right away. Just as a quick recap, the prereqs for the RFM analysis. So, RFM is a segmentation method that uses purchase history data, so transaction receipts and so on. Think of a classic grocery receipt of this sort to segment customers based on three things R, F, and M, which stand for recency, frequency, and monetary value. The bare minimum data needed to do RFM analysis, well, it turns out we only need three things. One, we need a user ID. Now, it's not there in this bill, but a user ID, okay, a phone number or some code that uniquely identifies a particular customer. The transaction amount, okay, so for here it would be $22, yeah, and the transaction date. Okay, so these are the three things that we need. The rest of it is, we can compute RFM from here. Okay. Now, these data are widely and automatically collected by businesses in contexts such as grocery, e-commerce, etc. Okay. So, what are we waiting for? Let's jump in right away. First off, please launch the RFM CLV app. Go to Zero Code Learning and let's have a look at how that goes. So, this is the apps list. RFM CLV app, please click on launch. And when you do that, the app will open. It will look like this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 output tabs. And out here, there is only one input file, but you will see that in data summary, you will have more of them. Okay. All right. Please go here and download this one, UK e-commerce transactions file. Just click on that and it will download to your downloads folder. Okay, so I'm going to browse. Let's get here to the downloads folder, UK e-commerce. Just load it in. Okay, once it has loaded, please go to the data summary tab. Okay, and suddenly now you see there are a number of other fields which have opened up here. So we'll have a look at that. Let me quickly go through the slides. So we were here. There was seemingly only one input control, that file, file upload. But please download this one and send it up. And after that, we are heading to the data summary tab. Let's go there. Now, the data summary tab will show you the following things: the size of the uploaded corpus and the top few rows of the uploaded data set. So this particular data set that we put in has about 9,544 rows. So these are transactions and 12 columns. Okay, so I don't know what this is. It looks like a repeat of X. There is V1. I have no idea what this is. Invoice number. This will be important. Stock code, description, quantity, invoice date, unit price, customer ID, country, and total revenue. Total revenue is a field I created. It is just the product of quantity and unit price. Okay, I will be needing this, which is why I created it. Okay. All right. So let's see what we get next. So you see the sample data set in the data summary tab. Now you have to fill up these fields. So let's have a look. What will customer ID be? Clearly, it's going to be this one. So I'm just going to go there and choose customer ID. What will be the transaction ID? So we need an ID that uniquely describes each row. It turns out to be, in some sense, the invoice number. So all of these items are being bought in the same bill. So this is your bill number, right? So invoice number. A different data set, you may have a different field name for transaction ID. So you just got to keep an eye out for that. Acha, transaction date would be invoice date. Okay, so this one. Date format, well, I'll come to that. Okay, so this, for instance, is December 1st, 2010. Okay, I'll come to date format. Hold on to that. Transaction amount is nothing but total revenue, the one that we saw here. I'm just going to put that in. There it is. Okay, leave it at 4. I mean, you can keep it at 3 or 5. 5 will be too many. 4 is a good number. Leave it here. Acha, date format. I have to basically write this date in a format the machine will understand. What is that format? Let us have a look. Acha, we will need all of these to make it work. The only thing we haven't gotten so far is date format, and that is where I am headed in the next slide. There it is. Okay, different data sets, different date formats. Now, I couldn't automate this one. Okay, there are just too many different ways in which dates could be written. So I'm going to ask you to do a tiny bit of date encoding. I mean, that's about it. Okay. I know it's zero code. Ideally, there should be no code, but I want you to encode the date, just the date. The percentage sign precedes date units. Okay, so percentage M means numeric month. Percentage B is character month. So instead March instead of 3. Okay, so that would be percentage B. Percentage Y is for 2-digit year. Percentage capital Y for 4-digit year. Percentage D for day. Okay, so that's there. And sometimes there is a timestamp also, so you might have percentage H, percentage capital M, percentage S for hours, minutes, and seconds respectively. Yeah, try encoding these date formats. Okay, now this is 12th of December, 1st of December 2010. So this one would be month, so I would put percentage M. Then there is a hyphen, so I'll put a hyphen. Then this is day, I'll put percentage day, hyphen, percentage capital Y, because this is a 4-digit date. Then there is a space, yeah. So there it is, percentage M hyphen percentage D hyphen percentage Y. There is a space here, there is a space here. Then percentage H for hours, there is a colon here also, and then percentage M. That's about it, yeah. This one would have day first, so I would have percentage D slash, okay, because slash is the delimiter, percentage M slash percentage Y, okay. And this one similarly, right, percentage D, this is character month, this is what I have, percentage Y, and then this one, yeah. I mean, that's basically it. So you will have to write the date accordingly. Now, if I go back here, let's see, this is the 1st of December. So I'm going to write percentage M. There is a hyphen, then percentage D. So let's put that here. Then hyphen, percentage capital Y, because it's a 4-digit date, followed by a space. Then I would have hours and minutes. So I'm going to do H colon percentage capital M. That's about it. So this is it. Once you are here, please click on calculate RFM and the machine will calculate the RFM. At which point we are ready to go into this particular, it's preparing the data, it's calculating it. So please after that come to the RFM tab. Okay, so let's get there. The RFM tab. Okay. So once we click the calculate RFM button, an RFM table will appear and its size will be shown. Let's have a look. Okay. So the size of this table is 100 rows and 8 columns. Turns out that there were 100 unique customer IDs in there who made purchases, a total of 9,544 different purchases. So that's what is coming there. And let's look at the columns of this one, customer ID. Number of days, transaction count, number of transactions in those days, amount, recency score, frequency score, monetary score, and this is your RFM class. So the first customer, okay, customer ID 12391 belongs to class 314. Customer ID 12421 belongs to class 432 and so on. Okay, where is this coming from? Folks, remember when we were here, we selected a 4 bin. So each person will be put into top quartile, next quartile, third quartile, last quartile. So when we divide it into 4, we will have 4 quartiles each. So that's what I'm getting here. All right, let me head back. So we now have 100 customers and each has their RFM class. There were originally 9,544 rows, but then we are aggregating to 1 row per customer. Now these scores are downloadable and sometimes you can use RFM scores, okay, these scores here as as features for that customer in their own right. So you can download these scores from here. Okay. Now we could go further and we could compute churn rates. Our retention rates are 1 minus churn rates for customers and thereafter customer lifetime values under some conditions and assumptions. So let's have a look at this. Okay. So you have this one here. Please go to CLV The CLV formula effectively requires, in some sense, gross margin. I'm going to assume 10% profit margin. I mean, you can change this. Yeah. It requires retention rate. So here it means that 75% of customers who visited us will revisit us in some sense. So we are losing about churn rate would be 0.25. Yeah. Discount rate is, basically time value of money. And so I'm just going with 0.1 as a default value. Stick to the defaults, click on CLV, and then you will see a CLV calculation show through. Okay. Customer ID 12391 has basically $60 worth or 60 pounds worth of CLV. 12421 is 68. 12471 is 660, 10 times that of. So you can see wide variation and heterogeneity come through in the CLV scores. Finally, last but not least, you have the plots. Okay, you can change the number of bins if you want, and you have a number of plots you want to see, you can. This is the distribution of CLV. These folks with the highest CLV, these folks are very, valuable customers, okay, the highest CLV. You can also look at the distributions of monetary value, recency, and frequency at this particular UK-based e-commerce shop, okay. So that's what is coming through. Let me quickly run over the slides. So there it is. To calculate CLV, we need a probability that the customer will leave and the probability they will spend. We chose to use the default values of churn and discount rates. However, you can change them and see, the impact on retention. So basically, if you go to CLV and you say, what happens if my discount rate is halved? Okay. And you'll basically see all these numbers change drastically. Okay. What happens if my threshold goes up from 75 to 85% retention? Okay. And you will suddenly see all these numbers change and so on. Okay. And so we saw the plots tab as well. Okay.